Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a narrow 4-2-3-1 for you, so slightly different to normal, but this tactic guarantees goals. It is solid at the back, it overachieves with smaller clubs, and it is obviously dominant with the big clubs. So we'll jump straight into it. So here we are with Real Madrid, and as you can see we have won the quadruple. We have won the Spanish Super Cup, beaten Barcelona 1-0 in that. In the Copa del Rey, we managed to beat Athletic Club 3-1 in that final, and in the Champions League, we have beaten PSG 2-1 after extra time. Arda Güler with a goal, Kylian Mbappe in the dying seconds of extra time to lift that trophy in Wembley against PSG. And as we saw in the league, we have finished top. 34 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, goal difference of 112 to finish on 105 points. Massively ahead of Barcelona, massively ahead of Atletico Madrid, and an absolute massive mile ahead of 4th place Athletic Club as well. So if we take a look at some of the numbers, we can see goal scored 131 goals this season, while only conceding the 19. We have dominated here. And in terms of the players, if we take a look, most goals, Kylian Mbappe with 27, Jude Bellingham's up there with 18. Assists wise, we've got Carvajal, Güler and Brahim Diaz all amongst the top performers here. And if we take a look at the data hub, we will see we have scored 3.45 goals per game from expected 2.7, conceded just 0.5 a game from expected 0.56. So we're outperforming expected goals scored and we're outperforming expected goals conceded. So we are solid at the back and we are lethal going forward. The key players in this team have been 19-year-old Arda Güler with 17 goals, 19 assists. What an absolutely amazing season for him. And of course, Kylian Mbappe, 37 goals, 10 assists. What an absolutely great first season for him in Madrid. And that is how we've won a quadruple. We have won a quadruple very convincingly. We'll now head over to Serie A and see exactly how this does at AC Milan. So here we are at Milan, and in this database, they are not in any European competitions, and unfortunately we've lost out in the Coppa Italia quarter-finals to Juventus. But we are Centurions in the league. 100 points, 32 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses, goal difference of 86. In terms of the stats here, in terms of goals scored, 116, miles ahead of our city rivals Inter, and we've only conceded the 30 goals. So again, less than the 1 goal per game, absolutely phenomenal. In terms of the players, most goals, if we take a look, in terms of the most goals, Rafa Leao second with 22, and Morata's up there as well with 16 in 7th place. In terms of the assist numbers, we've got Emerson Royal, Musa and Luka Modric there. If we actually take a look at Luka Modric, his first season in Milan, 12 goals, 12 assists, absolutely brilliant for the 38-year-old Croatian. And that's it, we are Centurions. If we actually take a look at the data hub while we're here, for AC Milan, we have got 3.05 goals per game from expected 2.55, conceded 0.79 from expected 0.88. So again, scoring more than we're expected to, and we're conceding less than expected to. So this is absolutely solid. So not quite a double, but Centurions, massive 24 points clear of Lazio. So the top 5 are quite surprising actually. Well, you've got us, which might not be a big surprise, but then you've got Lazio, Fiorentina, Torino and Bologna making up the top 5. So a lot of change here. Some of the big boys have struggled, which may have helped us a wee bit, but we've got 100 points, so their fate didn't really affect us really. But enough waffling, we'll go on to Sunderland. And in this updated database, see how they fare in the Premier League. So first of all, right to left, Carabao Cup, second round exit to Everton, third round exit to Middlesbrough in the FA Cup, not too fussed about that. But in the Premier League, we were predicted to finish last, and we have finished well clear of the drop. 20 points clear of the drop to finish in 11th on 48 points, 14 wins, 6 draws, 18 losses, but again, we were expected to finish bottom, and we are actually sitting in 11th. We're actually 1 point below 9th, which is really good, and 10 below 8th, which would have seen us play in Europe next season. In terms of the numbers, will not be as good as the previous teams, but goals scored, we're up there. We're in 8th with 54 goals. A few's conceded, we're probably a wee bit higher. We'll take that out in a wee minute. In terms of player numbers, goals, nobody really there. Assists, nobody really there. Not expected to. But if we take a look, we can see we conceded 67, so a bit more than expected compared to the other teams, but we're expected to finish bottom, so you know that's probably quite good. In terms of the data hub for this, 1.42 goals per game, so massively down on the other two, but again, expect to finish bottom, probably around a goal a game is probably what we'd be looking for. Conceded 1.76, so we've actually conceded more than we were expected to with Sunderland, but again, quality of players isn't as good, so that's maybe to be expected. And if you take a look through the whole squad, there's no standout performers here like the other two. Enzo Lefebvre with 9 goals, 3 assists is probably the best player. Other notable players are probably Reynaldo, the left back, 1 goal, 8 assists for him. Try Hume with 4 goals, 7 assists. He actually had a pretty good season as well, but other than that, goals kind of spreading around the low numbers between everybody. But again, we finished 11th in the Premier League. I don't really know what else we could expect, but we are massively established as a mid-table club with this tactic at Sunderland. So what you're all wanting to see is how this tactic actually lines up, and then we'll go back to Real Madrid and I'll show you exactly how it lines up, and I will show you who plays in what sort of position here. So here we are, and this is a Flying Scotsman's narrow 4-2-3-1. We'll run through the team instructions, run through the player instructions. There'll be download links below, but as always, if you need to pause the video, take screenshots on your phone or whatever you want to do to just make it in your game, there'll be plenty of opportunities to pause and do that. So we're going to start off, we're on a balanced mentality, which may surprise some people. In possession, we are playing wide as far as it goes, we're passing shorter, we are playing at a higher tempo, we're running at the defence and we are being more disciplined. And in the transition, we are counter-pressing, we're countering, we're distributing that ball quickly. And out of possession, we are going with a high press, the much higher defensive line, we're compacting that midfield area, we're triggering the press much more often, we're preventing the short goalkeeper distribution, we're getting stuck in and we are stepping up more. Now for the player roles, in goals we have a sweeper, keeper and defence just set as normal. On the right and left hand side, they are the exact same. They are both complete wing backs on attack, both with cross more often, both close down more and both tackle harder. I've said it time and time again, if you know me, I love my wing backs or full backs to be bombing up the lines, getting those crosses in. I'm a sucker for an attacking full back. Probably because in my younger days I was an attacking right back, so that's probably just rubbed off in how I play FM. But anyway, that's how both full back positions line up. And in the centre, we have two central defenders, both ball-playing defenders, both just tackle harder as additional instructions. And the midfield too, we have two defensive midfielders, both defensive midfielders on support, both tackle harder. So as the wing backs fly up, the defensive midfielders both just tuck in. They are basically, their entire job is just to help out the two centre backs, because as we see, the wing backs are going to be flying up as well as the other four attacking players, and you will have 6 players in and around the box creating havoc, which you will see in a second. So of the 3 attacking midfielders, we have on the right and on the left both shadow strikers, both set to attack, both will stay wider, both set to tackle harder. So they will sort of drift out. I don't want them to be playing right on the right hand side and the left hand side. I want them to be in the middle, compacting the area, and that has now changed that. But anyway, so it was a shadow striker on attack, both left and right side there, stay wider, tackle harder, so they can both spread wide a wee bit when needed, but they're not coming from those wide areas into the middle. They're already in the middle to start with. And they flank an advanced playmaker on support, just set his normal instructions, so he will be the playmaker of this team. He will be sitting in behind the striker. You'll have 2 shadow strikers either side of him. He's just kind of tucked in there, playing his passes left, right, forward. Absolutely phenomenal. You'll see exactly how this works. And then up front we have a complete forward on support, just set to his normal instructions. So there we have it. That is how this tactic lines up. Obviously that should be a shadow striker, but I've moved them, so there we go. Again, the download link will be down below. But before you leave, like the video, share, subscribe, comment what other tactics you'd like to see, and I'll now just leave you with a wee highlight reel of how some of this plays. And that is how that game ended, and as you can see, it is 10-0. 4 goals from Brahim Diaz, 1 from Mbappe, 2 from Goulet, a hat-trick from Jude Bellingham, and 1 from Renier. So that's 10 goals from our 4 forward players, although Renier will have come off the bench. But as you can see, just the way the goals are played, there's just so much havoc being caused in and around the box. That is how this tactic lines up. Again, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time.